Hi everyone. Today we are going to work on a junk journal swap. This will be my first time doing one. It's going to be a 2-ounce letter swap. And since it is mid-September, people are getting really excited for Halloween. And this person asked specifically for it to be Halloween themed, but I told her I didn't have a lot of that stuff. So she said fall would be fine. So that's what we're going to do. I do know I do have a Halloween magazine somewhere, so I might be able to find some spooky things for her in there. But yeah, this will be my first one, and let's see what I can find. So we're gonna hop right into it. I'm gonna use this old envelope that I had. This is from like one of those subscription junk mail things where they add like that little extra envelope to like send back payments. I thought it'd be good to reuse it instead of just throwing it away. And I thought it'd be fun to have like the little window be what it's supposed to do, and that reply business mail thing won't be an issue because I am going to decorate the front like I always do with all my letters. So first up, I am going to fold up these coloring book pages, and I tried to find some that were very fall related. I thought the hedgehog would fit, and another one's a pumpkin one. One thing that I have to be really careful with this packing process is making sure everything fits into this envelope. Because it is a skinnier envelope than maybe a traditional envelope that you might send to a pen pal. Unfortunately, a number of things will be folded into either halves or thirds depending on how big it is, but hopefully those folds won't be that big of an issue when this person receives it. Um, yeah, I'm going to fold these into thirds. A problem that pen pallers and people who just send lots of things in mail that are paper goods by envelope, a problem that they have is that there are a couple of restrictions with the United States postal requirements for a letter. So one of them is the weight. If it's over 3.5 ounces, it is no longer considered a letter. It is now a package, even if it's small like this. Another problem is thickness, and this is my problem, is that usually letters I can get between 1 to 2 ounces, but the thickness of the letter is what I struggle with. So they require it to be less than a quarter-inch thick, or it will be considered a package. And that's just because there's so many different papers and stickers and things being piled up in there that a lot of my letters might be a little bit questionable if they are actually less than a quarter-inch. But so far I haven't had any letters returned to me to add more postage to, so that's a good thing. Of course, if you are pen paling or sending people swaps like this, you don't have to send it in an envelope. Um, for us, we decided on a 2-ounce envelope, and that will be considered a letter unless you break over those two requirements I was talking about. When it breaks over and it becomes considered a package, and then packages will be charged more, which I'm not a fan of personally. Something else that I'm really guilty with when I'm packing letters, whether it's for a swap or whether it's for pen pals, is I will just shove things in there loose. No envelope, no pocket. I will put things in a pile of yes, I'm giving it to them, and put it into that envelope, and I'm trying to do a little better about that, just because I'm sure it can be a little bit of a mess to open up when things just come flying out of the envelope with no pocket and whatnot. So I think you'll see me kind of collect these smaller items, some of these smaller magazine clippings, and here in a moment some of the stickers. I will make envelopes for those just because there's a lot of them and I don't really want anything to get lost when she opens this up. I'm going to do the stickers first because that one's a very typical size for me to make. I know exactly what to grab to make the right size pocket. I'm going to use a bingo card. And these are super great. They're so versatile. I use them as backgrounds in my junk journal. I use them as envelopes in my junk journal, or as you can see here for pen pals. They're just really great. You can get a whole bunch when you go to a bingo night, and it's a really fun way to reuse them in my opinion. It's super easy to glue together these little envelopes. I actually tape mine, but gluing does the same job. I just like to tape it just to be extra secure. Sometimes the glue does kind of come undone. But here we go, taping it, and then I'll pack the envelope. And I do believe everything fits in there. I won't have to worry about like pulling something out and putting it into a different envelope. One thing when I'm packing my envelopes that are the little ones that go in the big one is I do like to try to keep my stickers together and then my random clippings together. That way, I don't know, I just like that personally. It's less confusing later and it's just a teeny tiny bit more organized. I'm not the most organized person though. But looky there, you have the cutest, tiniest little envelope for your stickers. I think that's great. This will add so much thickness to this letter. It has me worried later on in the video whether that's going to be acceptable, but we'll ignore it for now. So I'm talking about here, we are going to do a slightly bigger piece of scrap paper. I use a magazine clipping, a big magazine clipping like that. And it makes another cute envelope. And I'll do exactly the same process as I did with that bingo card. The envelope will be a little misaligned, so to speak, but it'll do the job just fine. Something I really like receiving from people, specifically my pen pals, because those are the only people I receive things from right now, are the tiny envelopes that they send me to put like the stickers or the little memos or post-its in. They are so cute. Usually I think they have like pre-made ones from a store or that came in a stationery set that are small. But sometimes I do get handmade ones, and both of them are just so cute. I love to put them in my journal. I just don't know what to put in them after I put them in my journal. So I've got to like figure out how am I going to use those more and incorporate them in there. But they're just such a fun little pocket to add later on. I'm getting a little tired from talking. But there we go. That envelope is now also done. And it's just this, I'm making sure it fits in there. I need to fold a little bit more. But I don't know. I just think they're so cute and they're super easy to make. You don't need any fancy tools or any special skills. You can get a fancy tool to make these. I have one, but sometimes it's just easier to throw it together yourself. And that most definitely will fit in my envelope, so that's perfect. And I'll go ahead and slap those little memo things in there. And it looks like I missed a couple of things. I don't know about you guys, but so often when I am packing my pen pal letters, and then after I clean up, I find things that I was supposed to put in that letter, and it's already sealed, it's already been posted, and I'm like, shoot, man, this was supposed to go in there. It's definitely happened a good number of times on me. I'm not sure if any of you struggle with that too. If you do, let me know. Let me know that I'm not the only person here forgetting half the contents. That might be a little drastic, but I do forget one or two things every 3 letters maybe. It's pretty often. It's not the best. It might be cured by having a cleaner work area, but I don't want to clean my space to be creative. Sometimes the mess helps your creativity. I don't know if that's really true. It's an excuse, guys. I'm making up excuses. So you saw me pull those out earlier. I am going to fold them just a little bit because they are a little too long or tall, wide, I don't know. They're a little too big. And so they can fit in there properly, I'm going to fold them. They won't be folded that much and it shouldn't bother what they actually are. It's just that so that they can fit in there properly. And after I packed that away, I noticed that I did forget something, so I'm just going to throw it in there loose. They can find it later. That's alright. Like I said, I'm guilty about throwing things in loose. This paper I'm going to put in also their little memo sheets that I designed. These are prototypes, but I have a lot of the prototypes, so I'm just going to give them to her. And they're apple cider or apple tea themed stationery papers. She can write a pen pal letter on it. She can write memos on it. She can use it for whatever she wants. It's paper. It's a paper good, and it's good to use for lots of purposes. That made sense. I will have to fold it, unfortunately, but that's alright. It's not a big deal. pack that one in there. And then I got these Snoopy ones that I want to include also. I wrote a little short note for her, and then she'll get 2 extra ones. I wrote a list of what I am including, but I'm not sure if that's finished yet, so I'm going to leave that one out and see if I add anything different in there, and if not, we'll deal with that here in a moment. And I'm going to fold these. Looks like I will need to fold those into thirds, just a little bit too long for that envelope to fit properly, but that's also not a big deal. I can fold thirds. Well, you didn't really see me fold that into nice thirds, but it'll fit in the envelope, don't worry. So everything that should be in this envelope should be coloring pages, stickers, memos, a prototype of my stationery, and then magazine clippings. I actually decided not to add anything else. I was thinking about adding some lace or some ribbons that also went along with the fall/Halloween theme, but I didn't find any. I feel like one of the sweetest things about getting mail from people is getting, well, for our pen pal examples, getting a letter from them. I haven't done a swap before, but I feel like if I was doing a swap, I would want to receive a little memo, just like, hey, this is what I did, I hope you enjoy it, here's what's included, have a good day. It makes it a little more personal, a little more fun, and then I can put it in my junk journal later, or figure out what I can do elsewise. So, like I said, I didn't add anything outside of that list to the envelope, so I am going to go ahead and trim this page actually because, so one, I can fit it into it without too many folds, and two, I'm going to use that bottom part for the mailing address. Like I said, this envelope has a little window. Oh, what am I doing? Oh, I'm writing have fun. And then pigeon pages. I will say pigeon porridge a lot. That's my personal handler. But for my business, it's pigeon pages. But anyways, what I was saying was, oh yeah, I'm gonna use that bottom part for the for the mailing address because this envelope has that little window for that, and I think that'll be a cute little touch to it. In we go, just like that maybe? I think I'm getting stuck on something, we'll see. Voice over me is now looking at this and realized that I put the decorating part after decorating the envelope after filling that. I don't know why, but we're just going to leave it like that. It'll be fine. You guys get a preview of what I'm going to do. Now we're here at the decorating part. And again, I think I'm going to make it more fall than Halloween because that's what I had more of. And we're just going to glue things up really well. Usually when I'm editing my videos, I will skip the gluing, like the intense gluing parts. But I want you guys to know that I am aggressively gluing this stuff down because I've had plenty of experiences with receiving letters with things not like they weren't glued down well enough, so they got peeled off, or they're flapping around and they're getting hit and messed up. And so I make sure that I glue. That's what I can tell anybody else is glue. Always pick at those edges, see if anything's flapping up. If you're not gluing it, tape it. Tape it. It just gives me peace of mind knowing that it won't peel up and it won't be destroyed when the person receives it. So let's see, I've got that glued down, and I'm going to take some brown paper and cover the other side. And like I said, I want to have that window showing. So what I'll do is I'll cut my paper to the proper size I need it. I actually don't cut it to the right size. It's technically too small, but I used it anyways. It was only a little sliver of the envelope that was showing in the bottom corner. I'm not worried about it. I'm going to cut that up if it lets me and rip the other side. There we go. And what I will do to keep that window is I'm going to set it down, kind of get it in the area that I want, and then I'm going to trace it. I'm going to try to feel it through the paper because it's fairly thin. It's just a paper bag, piece of paper. and trace it with a pencil. If I can find my pencil, there we go. And this way I can cut around that and make sure it's the exact size I need it to be. It just makes your life easier like this. If the paper's too thick, then I would probably, I don't know what I would do if it was too thick. I'll have to think that one out later. But here we go, cut, cut, cut. Nice and neat around that outline. Don't cut myself. Ooh, paper is being finicky. Anyways, after I get this cut out, I'll erase the pencil on there because nobody wants pencil marks on their cute envelope. I sure don't. Yeah. I'll take this moment because I'm getting ahead of myself to plug my social medias and to tell you to like and follow and subscribe and everything else to my channel if you are enjoying this. I know it's a bit of a rougher video just because I am trying to do it in as few editing steps as possible, but if you do enjoy this video or want to see more like it, go ahead and subscribe. I post every Wednesday, or I'm going to try to post every Wednesday. We'll see how busy I am. But yeah, that'd mean a lot to me, and you'll see more of what I do. I also have a TikTok and Instagram. TikTok will be Pigeon Pages. Yes, Pigeon Pages, and then my Instagram will be pigeon_pages. Super easy to remember. Check those out. I post more on TikTok than I do on Instagram. I just think TikTok's a little more easy, and it's a little more of clips of my life than just journaling. But it is a lot of journaling and pen pal stuff. Okay, now that that is glued down, I wanted to use this, it was a lemonade label for some lemonade that I got from the grocery store. And I thought it was really cute and matches this fall vibe on the outside. And I'll round those corners just so everything's nice. I like the round corners better than sharp corners. That's just me personally. And we'll see. I was originally thinking about putting it there, but I didn't like how it was like literally splitting things in half. So I carefully peel that up and play around with it a little bit, and I decided on pretty much this location. I know it does cover the window a little bit, but I have small handwriting and I can make it work with the address. I'm not worried about that. Making sure it's straight because I hate like setting something down with glue and it's absolutely crooked. I've done that so many times, and then you have to peel it up and try not to rip everything. Ugh. So I made sure it's straight, and now I'm gluing it down extra good like I talk about. And there we go. Rub that down. Always check the corners. You'll be surprised about what's trying to flip up. One thing that's good about this is that I will normally tape along the edges too, so that the machinery in the post office system won't cut the edges. I've had lots of envelopes that have had like 2 to 3 inch holes in the side, and we don't want any of this stuff falling out. Now it's time for some stickers. I actually keep the decoration pretty minimal on this envelope. I think it is very nice on how it looks without everything happening, and I still have to add some other stuff anyways, so but I will add this little ghost guy to emphasize it's also a little bit Halloween-y in there too. I am so thankful for my pen pals who give me a lot of these cute decorations and stickers and papers and all that good stuff. If it wasn't for them, my collection would be kind of sad and small. I'm just going to use that inside of that paper that I cut up earlier for my return address, because why not? It was going to get thrown away anyways. Just because it's been cut like that in the middle doesn't mean it's not usable. And I'm actually going to cut it down quite a bit more. I don't need a lot of space to write my address, and yeah, cut it down a little more. I can see the cute paper behind it, and I actually cut it so much that I accidentally clip off that corner, but that's okay. It's fine. Things will be okay. Just because it's not perfect doesn't mean it's not cute. So that will be there, and I think I will go ahead and trim this and glue that on, and then I'm going to repack it and weigh it. It comes out to 1.82 ounces, and I'm going to call that good. I always go a little shy of my desired weight just because I'm not really sure if my scale is accurate. And once that stamp and address goes on, it's ready to be mailed. I actually forgot to record showing off the envelope, so it's just going to be this little screenshot. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I definitely plan on making more pen pal things, swap related things, and maybe some stationery and business things as those get running. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like, subscribe, do whatever you need to do, and take care, everyone. Bye!